All right, let's get to read from Art Laffer on all of this. I'm just thinking, Art, when you were the economic Sangale that won Ronald Reagan, it was Ronald Reagan who went after the Japanese for dumping computer chips on this country. And, you know, he responded to some of the more, you know, aggressive hawks within his team who said, well, you've got to fight fire with fire. You didn't like that then. Do you like what you're seeing now?
I don't know, Neil. To be really honest, I don't know exactly what I'm seeing. I mean, I haven't seen the tariffs or the war come on yet. I really haven't. I trust 100% in Larry Kudlow and coming up with a good solution. I think there's a very good chance, Neil, that we actually get some major concessions from China and we avoid a trade war and we make much better deals and trade relations with China going forward, and Japan and Europe and NAFTA. So I'm optimistic about what's going to happen, but it scares me and I don't understand it all that well. I hate negotiations where one side holds the thing. It's like poker. I never know if I'm going to win the hand or not.
Well, it's like go fish for me. I know what you're saying. Now,
yes.
I will say this, though, that, you know, to the president's credit on this subject, he has maybe, you know, like a bull in a china shop, reminded people, you know, you might not like trade wars, you might not like tariffs, but these guys have been cheating, and these guys have been rigging the system to make it almost impossible for us to make headway there. And privately, a lot of European concerns are sort of egging him on, saying, yeah, that it's so publicly stated. But to your point as well, it can get out of control. Do you think it will?
No, I don't think it will. I talked with Trump on this, and his conversation is, I think he likes free trade very, very much. I think he wants better deals, better treaties than we have, and I completely agree with him on that. It's impossible for an American company to sell a car to Japan. They've got so many non-tariff barriers. It's just prohibitive, and I'm sure China has a lot of that as well, and so does Europe, by the way. And this is what I think he's trying to get through, but I don't think he's willing to pull the plug and go nuclear on them. I just don't think so. And I think he's going to be very successful. Anyone who looks at these treaties carefully, Neil, our side or their side, knows that they're rigged and knows that it hurts them and us equally, and it makes no sense. I thought your phrase was really the best phrase of all, unfair matching unfair. And that's the correct way to look at this. I think he wants to much rather have a fair versus fair rather than an unfair versus unfair.
Yeah,
and
because then a lot
wants.
of the people who hear about it and say that we are doing something that is not very free market-like, when they can see, well, they're not doing something free market-like. I don't know what the solution is at your point, but it has...
I think them cutting tariffs would be perfect. That is exactly what you want. Their discriminatory tariffs are blocking American products, that's for sure. They'll be better off with American products coming in, and so will we. If they cut those tariffs and they get a better trade deal for everyone, it's a win-win for everyone in the world, and I think that's what's going to happen, Neil.
All right. From
I hope
your
so.
mouth.
I really
from
do.
Your mouth. All right.
Well,
real quickly, I also was mentioning Ronald Reagan, and of course, he was the one in Iceland meeting with Mikhail Gorbachev and scored a lot of these impressive nuclear disarmament deals.
He sure did.
And I'm wondering, this president has a lot at stake with his upcoming talks with the North Korean leader. Stranger things have happened in the past. That Reagan example with Gorbachev is the case,
amazing?
because it had a spillover effect on a host of other things, including the economy. What do you see happening here?
I think the same thing is happening with North Korea. I honestly do. And, you know, after North Korea comes on, Kim Jong-un has made very positive statements. I just don't see how this doesn't work. And it's all because of Trump. I mean, Trump's belligerence and bluster with them has brought them to the table. They thought he was serious, and I think he was serious. And we're now going to get a disarmament of North Korea and maybe a unification of Korea. God, that's just wonderful, Neil. And then we talk about Iran. I think Trump has got the upper hand there as well. The Iran treaty is clearly a biased treaty and not the one you want. You would do that again. You wouldn't. We need to make sure they don't get nuclear weapons. That's for sure. And I think Trump can pull these off just the way Reagan did. I mean, Reagan was unassuming. He did it, but he did it. I mean, if I remember the tease one when he went into whatchamacallit in the Caribbean with U.S. troops versus
Grenada,
Grenada. And, you know, it was just amazing. He committed U.S. troops to go kill communist troops on this island of Grenada. I couldn't believe my eyes when that happened, and it was just amazing. I told you my joke, what he told me. I asked him how he made his decision, and he looked at me square-eyed and said, Art, I just asked myself, what would John Wayne have done? And it's the perfect answer. He did the right thing. And I think Trump is trying to be very much the same way and just doing the right thing.
Well, there you go again, Mr. Laffer.
That's what he said.
Very good job, my friend.
He put it in exactly. Y'all just tried to do what John Wayne would have done.
There we go. All right. Thank you. Good seeing you again, Art.